Alrighties, BrainClaw, the Feudal Educator clay, the spider web that gets wrapped around your use case and makes it easy for you to uh, create lessons, quizzes, exercises for your classrooms, building curriculums, and everything else. So I guess you could call it BrainClaw or Feudal Educator Clay. Official name is Feudal Educator Clay, um, but you know, for some of you it could be maybe BrainClaw because it's pretty dope. I mean, when I went ahead and built it out, I didn't really expect it to be quite efficient with whatever the use case that I'm doing in university settings. I didn't really expect it to be super well versed in just kind of picking up my use case and being so helpful in terms of cultivating through students' memories and packaging them automatically into upcoming lessons and creating quizzes, creating tests, breakout activities, all that. I didn't really expect it to be so powerful. I didn't expect it to be so kind of just hands off. I want to say hands off, yeah. In fact, I didn't see anything that can be so adaptable for any kind of a use case. I didn't really see a way, like anything on GitHub or anything like this, where you could just kind of install and have everything you need to convert your students into loyal freedom founders who can work with you across any kind of side hustles as you building them out and learning from you while you're also earning money. And I haven't really seen anything remotely near this, so BrainClaw was the most natural kind of a decision for me to build. So the official name is Feudal Educator Clay. Think of it as a clay that gets wrapped around like a blanket on top of any kind of a use case that you're building. So if you're an instructor, college, university, professor, or adjunct teacher or tutor, then this clay is adaptable per your use case. It's very friendly from the standpoint of you being able to just press a button and have everything ready. Now, the way it works is with this Feudal Educator clay, think of it as a wrapper that sits on top of Gemini and OpenClaw. So Gemini, so when you install it, basically it walks you through the process of installing Gemini and OpenClaw, and then walks you through the process of setting up bidirectional synchronization between OpenClaw and Gemini. So this way you could have this agentic style of working with it and be able to just tell Gemini like, hey, prepare my lesson. I mean, be able to tell OpenClaw and Telegram or through your YouTube channel, prepare my lesson, and it would just prepare the lesson. So like, how does it work? So let's say how can I just listen to your YouTube and prepare everything for whatever it is that you want to do? The way it works is, think of it this way: when you go live on YouTube, there's a little heartbeat that's set up to listen for any kind of new YouTube videos. And the way I designed BrainClaw is like a wrapper that sits on top of OpenClaw and Gemini, but it's also, you could substitute other things like Claude or Codex, but think of it as kind of like a wrapper that sits on top of Gemini CLI and on top of OpenClaw. Now, the reason why I designed it this way was simply because I wanted to have agentic capabilities, and I wanted to be able to just like contact OpenClaw and tell it like, hey, go ahead and listen to whatever it is that I'm doing, set up like a heartbeat, and it would just listen to any kind of YouTube style material that I create. So let's say if I create a workshop on YouTube talking about the architecture of the brain claw, then next time OpenClaw detects whenever I have a live YouTube video, it goes ahead and does a couple of structural tasks that are set up in such a way where there's no content rot, there's minimized number of tokens, but this entire memory context that it extracts from the YouTube, it basically inserts it into Feudal Educator clay, and which is basically like a framework, like a blanket that sits on top of your identities, roles, and entire use cases. And so when it listens to the actual YouTube video, it constructs certain tasks that are hovering over my use cases. It listens, for example, let's say I told it to, in today's lesson I'm describing brain claw, how structure works on brain claw. So what I would do is I would jump on a live workshop, I would describe brain claw, and then the rest is just smooth sailing. It knows everything, and it starts building based on definition, tasks, roles, etc. that I add in actual YouTube video. For example, if I wanted to kind of feed into it some additional layers of intelligence, I could say something like iterate through the existing Feudal Educator clay, the entire blanket, iterate through that and come up with some innovative workflows that will increase the learning effectiveness of students, obviously grounded to the Feudal Educator clay, which is grounded based on syllabus, and use that and come up with something that will allow me to increase overall learning effectiveness for my students. And as soon as I finish that workflow, that workshop, OpenClaw is gonna get cracking, and when it's gonna start cracking at it, it's gonna be using some of the like Max Mini 2.5 and other kind of models without going through too much tokens like wasting. So it will pick optimal models and it will agentically reach the final conclusion of like wrapping itself into the existing framework. So this way, next time when I start the lesson, it already will recognize that, oh my God, there's a lesson, a powerful lesson that was created, but let me go ahead and tap into it. Here's a bunch of transcripts from that lesson. It would use NobleCLM to transcribe things, and it would feed that context back into OpenClaw agent that sits there and constructs new intelligence and elevates those workflows further. Now, this style of intelligence gathering and kind of rapidly understanding what the identity wants is really unique, guys. It's really unique. I mean, if you guys wanted to give it a shot and see how that works, definitely hit me up. DM the word path on my Insta.